The one thing that Donald Trump had been desperately trying to avoid happened today. Donald Trump was sentenced by Judge Juan Marchand in the Manhattan District of New York regarding his hush money case and 34 felony convictions. He really tried to avoid this. See, in the mind of Donald Trump and Trump-la-fucks, that if he didn't get sentenced, that wouldn't validate the convictions. That's not true, but that's just how fucking stupid they are. So he wanted some wiggle room to say, well, they never sentenced me, so I'm okay, I'm exonerated. That's not how it works. You were already convicted, and now you are sentenced. Now, prior to the sentencing, Donald Trump's lawyer was spewing all kinds of ridiculous shit that made no sense, the same shit we heard in the trial. And then Donald Trump spoke, and this goofball is going off on tangents, talking about the election, how it's unfair, how everybody says there was no charges to be brought. It was just silly, and it was ridiculous. He embarrassed himself, he embarrassed the court, he embarrassed his lawyers, but that's typical for Donald Trump. And then the judge imposed the sentence, and it was an unconditional discharge, which means he's convicted, he's sentenced, but there will be no punishment. Now, I know there's a lot of people upset or disappointed by that, but here's what you have to understand. Judge Juan Marchand did the only thing he could do, but he made an important stipulation. He had to grant this unconditional discharge because of what's afforded the office of the presidency. And the judge said this very specifically, I have to do this because of the office of the presidency, but not because of the person who occupies that position. So what he's basically saying there, you're lucky you're going to be president because you would have motherfucking gone to jail. But this is how Donald Trump does things. He slips out. Now, if you're upset about Donald Trump getting away with yet another thing, he did not. He has been sentenced. He is a convicted felon. He's the first person that is a convicted felon to be elected president of the United States. That distinction is there. It will never go away. He can try to appeal it, but the fact stands. That barn door is open. The cows got out. There's no way of closing it. Go ahead, try to fucking appeal it. You'll lose. You'll waste more money and more time and avoid making America great again. But if that's what you want to do, fucking fine. The point of this is Donald Trump didn't get off because of a weak judge or a bad court system in this instance. He got off because you dumbasses elected him president. That's the only reason he got off, because he won that presidency. So there comes a point where we have to take the responsibility. We allowed this to happen because at least half of us in this country voted for that shit. Now let's understand what you voted for. You've been voted for somebody who's already been impeached twice, been adjudicated as a sexual predator, somebody who's been convicted 34 times and now has been sentenced. That's who you voted for. That's who is going to be the president. Can we blame the court if the court is dealing with restrictions because of that office? No, I think we need to blame us. The people that voted for Donald Trump gave Donald Trump this out, and that's unfortunate. But time runs out, and some signs that Donald Trump is no longer winning. He's losing. He's not winning appeals. He's getting sentenced. The reports will be released. Things aren't looking good for Donald Trump. And this is going to be a slide of a lot of negative things happening for Donald Trump. He's going to be confused because he's never experienced this before.